Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here, and you are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Welcome back to Big Mouth. You can continue this conversation with me over on my Twitter at Movies TV Mad. I didn't slap my face. I don't do the touching. Do you get it? If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you'll understand what that's all about. I'm crazy. Anyway, welcome to the dceu Extra. I will be talking about an article from We've Got This Covered about Zack editing a new cut of the Justice League Snyder Cut. And after that, I'm going to be talking about the possibility of Zazie Beetz from the Joker movie playing Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, and why this would be the best form of casting. Now, of course, I'm working off the rumour that Matt Reeves is looking to cast a woman of colour for Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman. But first, let's look at We Got This Covered. Zack Snyder's put together a new cut of Justice League for WB execs. Now, let me be clear. I've been very clear in the past with this site, We've Got This Covered. I think I've never read anything that they've got right. Now, maybe they have got something right that I haven't read before. Now, they try and defend themselves and say they've got blah, blah, blah right, but I can't tell you if that's true or not. But it's very, very interesting, and I'm going to explain to you after the article why, for once, I actually believe them. So let's read the article. Justice League deserved its critical beating. What slithered into cinemas back in 2017 was a Frankenstein monster of a movie, nonsensically plotted, full of terrible quips, just plain ugly, and with some truly ugly CGI. It turned out that what went on behind the scenes was far more compelling drama than what we saw on the big screen, though. With Snyder being booted off the project after the studio got cold feet about his approach, their solution was to bring Joss Whedon in to give a little bit of that Avengers razzle-dazzle to the DCEU, and we all know how that worked out. Ever since, fans have launched a long and sustained campaign to get the fabled Snyder Cut released. Fabled? That means it's make-believe, it's a fairy tale, it's real, it's out there. Fabled Snyder Cut release. Over the years, we've heard various stories about how complete this cut of the film was. We also know that it was screened to Warner Brothers executives and have seen clips from scenes that didn't make it into the final product. Furthermore, it's been said that it contains unfinished VFX and score, and that to get it completed will take a lot of time and money. With all this in mind, you can at least forgive Warner Brothers for not wanting to throw yet more resources at Justice League. No, we can't forgive Warner Brothers for that. And I don't believe that's the case now that Sarnoff and Walter Hamada are in charge. This is a different Warner Brothers to the Kevin Sugihara one, which absolutely stabbed Zack and everyone from the Snyder Cut in the back. But now we're hearing that a release may actually happen. Sources close to WGTC, We've Got This Covered basically, the same ones, here we go, here's the defense, who told us Jonah Hill was joining the Batman, Robert Pattinson was locked in as the new Dark Knight, and that Black Adam will be in Shazam 3, say that Zack Snyder has assembled a fresh cut of the movie, which he's re-edited, touched up, and is now trying to get into a releasable state. Word is that it's been shown to Warner Bros. Executives too, so we may be waiting on their decision. And while this remains to be confirmed by the studio, it does broadly fit with their loosened grip on their DC properties. Post-Justice League, we've seen a willingness to allow directors to play with the properties without directly tying them into the DCEU. The most obvious example is Joker, which is currently considered a standalone movie. It had also won them a lot of goodwill from fans, who kept the Snyder Cut flame burning. As such, let's hope this pans out, as I'd love to see Zack's original vision. Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? So that's basically it for that article. So why do I believe them when I haven't believed them in the past? I just can smell something's going on with Warner Brothers. If Kevin Sugihara was still running Warner Brothers, the Joker movie would never have been made. If you've seen the Joker movie, you would have been sitting there with your mouth open, thinking, this is so good, so compelling, so raw, so gritty, and I can't believe they allowed this guy to make this film. And that was my emotions and my reactions from watching the Joker movie. And so I think what Warner Brothers have done, stopping Access Media from being at the premiere in Los Angeles and doing the same, I think, was it New York? I can't remember. Was it London? I can't remember. I couldn't tell you that. It shows a willingness from the studio to back their creatives. They allowed him to do this movie. It took them a year for Todd Phillips to convince them to make this R-rated movie. And they reminded him that children are buying like Joker pajamas. And they were very, very worried about this. But then they let him write a script. They saw the script and they saw his vision. He spoke to them about starting a DC Black Label franchise. They said to him, listen, we can't promise you that. Make this movie, and if everything turns out all right, then yes, we'll look at you doing other films in the DC slate, which is very, very exciting. Let's be clear. The DC Black Label movie franchise is happening, and Joker is the first step. Warner Brothers will not care about the reaction from certain people who are offended by this movie and call it a dangerous movie. All they know is people are excited about this movie. Most people love it. There's been an amazing reaction, an amazing buzz. It is happening. And that's why I believe we've got this covered when they say that Zack Snyder, how dare I just call him a he, Zack Snyder has made a new cut of his Justice League movie, but he wouldn't have done that without Warner Brothers' permission, which means they want to release his cut of Justice League. And that's why I believe them. I don't normally believe them, but I think this could be very, very genuine and very, very true. I believe we are going to see his cut. I can't see it viably being released this year, but certainly in 2020, when HBO Max is released, I think that's a good place to release it. Maybe on Blu-ray, maybe on home digital release. It might all happen at the same time. So because basically HBO Max will be exclusive to America. So what they may do, what I'm hearing they may do, is release it on HBO Max, but the rest of the world will have the DVD, Blu-ray, 4K release, and then that will come to America after it's had a good run on HBO Max. I think, look, I want to see this movie. I want to see this final part to Snyder's story, his Man of Steel story, his Batman v Superman story. It's so very important if you appreciate those previous two movies I've just forementioned. And for me, it's very, very important because what happened to Zack, what Kevin Sugihara did was from pressure through Access Media. They couldn't handle it, so they got rid of him. Every time he wrote a script, they didn't want it. They accepted one, he shot a film, and they still weren't happy. So they pushed him out the franchise. Now, what they could have done was allow him to make this movie and then tell him, Zack, it's over. Thank you. You've done your trilogy. We're going to go in another direction now with Walter Hamada. But they didn't do that. And what they did was very ungentlemanly. And also, if they wanted Joss to do one, and I said it before and I'll say it again, just get him to start again, but not work off another creative's vision. And we know how messy it ended up. Sometimes I watch Justice League and I can appreciate it for what it is, but I know too much. I know Man of Steel like the back of my hand. I know Batman v Superman like the back of my hand. So this film just didn't do it. And how could it do it when you're rushing a director to reshoot and rewrite multiple scenes of a movie to make it lighter and brighter, when that director's got to force actors to smile for no reason, with a logical reason within the film, just to say, look, they're smiling, look, Superman's cracking jokes. It was no good. It was never going to work. And the Snyder Cut movement, the pressure they've put out is amazing. They're all at New York Comic Con this weekend. There's going to be a ground crew. They've got a digital billboard. I've seen it. I can't show it to you. I don't have the means to show it to you, but go check it out. It's amazing. So you can get excited as far as I'm concerned. I believe the Snyder Cut is coming. I do believe that Zack has re-edited a new movie, a new version of the Snyder Cut. Not a new version, but put it a bit more so he can show it to the studio. And they may go back and say, we need you to do this or we need you to do that, and they'll talk with each other. I think Ann Sarnoff and Walter Hamada have changed the face of Warner Brothers. The Joker movie proves that. Giving directors and auteurs, the freedom to make their movie within this unique, fabulous DC world of movies is ever so important. And I'm so excited for the future of this franchise. Oh, I was about to go, wasn't I? But we're going to talk about something else. And I'll be just going to press pause and then we'll talk about it. Sorry, I had to sort myself out. I had a bit of a cough. Anyway, right, let's talk about Zazie Beetz. So, about a week ago, it became apparent, and it's just a rumour right now, that Matt Reeves is looking to cast a woman of colour for Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman. And a bunch of names came out. One of them was Tessa Thompson. None of us are convinced by those names. I just think they've already got the right actor in a DC movie right now, and that's Zazie Beetz. Zazie Beetz as Domino in Deadpool was amazing. But when you see her, if you've seen her in the Joker film, right, you see what range this woman has got. She's so talented. She's such an intelligent actor. And I think she's the right person to play Selina Kyle. I think it would be amazing. I think it would work. And nobody's talking about her because obviously she's been in Joker. But what DC are actually doing now, they're giving us multiverses, different universes within the DC universe. So we've got the DCEU, we've got the Joker multiverse. The Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman is from another universe as well. Obviously, right? For many, many obvious reasons. So if she's played the character from another universe, it shouldn't really matter if she plays Selina Kyle from Matt Reeves' brand new DC Batman universe movie, if you like. So I think she's the one to cast. It wouldn't surprise me if she gets cast. It'd be very, very interesting if that happens. They're probably going to audition many, many people. But I think when you've got someone that talented and such full of artistic range like Zazie Beetz, you cast her, you give her the role, you give her the opportunity, you challenge her, and I think we could see something incredibly special.